I want you to imagine a glass wall right here. So we bring a calculator right here. Another thing you're going to imagine, 1,000 subscriber base for this channel. So we're going to punch that in, right? 0.
Like and subscribe now.
And we'll push it off. So that's the effect we're going to try to animate. Hey, Sam here. Welcome to my channel. I am not your typical tutor. I am a hobbyist. My interest is in video production. So what I use and how I use it, be them camera gear, softwares, and other related tools, I simply just share with you, hoping you can learn 1 or 2 things from it. If this be your thing, consider subscribing to this channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss another update from me. With that out of the way, let's get started. So if you're watching this video right now, I'll encourage you to simply pause it and go to the older video that I made here where I actually executed a hologram effect. There was an omission of an effect that I applied to the elements on that video that I am trying to complete today. It was a little bit of an oversight. So today, this video is for animating the objects. I am going to execute that using something called keyframe. Here I am in the beautiful world of Adobe Premiere Pro. This is how I go about it. There are a bunch of ways to do it out there. Feel free to actually browse around. I'll just show you how I made it transparent. This is a screenshot video, on my iPhone. So basically what I'll do to create a transparent effect is to come to effect control here, click on effect control, and then come right down to blend mode. Open it and it will display options of presets. You just come down to screen and then click on screen. As you can see, that already gives you a transparent effect. If you don't know how to screenshot your iPhone, make sure your phone is right in the front page. Swipe up. Right at the bottom far left of the phone, you'll see a button there. Click on that button. That's the record button. Once you click on it, it's going to give you a bit of a countdown and then it will turn red. It means that it has started recording your screen. So let's get back to it. Remember, I told you the aim and purpose of this is to show you how I track my subject from point A to point B. In this case, I made it actually follow my hand movement so that it will look cool, right? Now, I'm going to be using a feature built into Premiere Pro called keyframe. So before we continue, what is keyframe? Keyframe is simply something built into the algorithm of Premiere Pro to help animate objects. If you want something to move from point A to point B, you apply the value and use the keyframes to hold down those positions so that whenever the playhead gets to that point where you apply the value, something happens to your object or to your subject. I will go to the effect control panel here. I will click on that effect control and this will display the property of the clip. I make sure this clip is highlighted. I cannot use the size as it was from the phone, so I have to scale down so that I will achieve the exact size that I want. Haven't done that, I will now come here and start to keyframe it. Now if you see this stopwatch icon, those are the places where we apply the value that will help us animate this object. How I do it is I look for the position that I want. Now to make it look like I actually went out of the frame to grab my object, I have to track this thing effectively so that it looks good and natural. So to do that, I click on effect control like I said, and then I make sure my clip is highlighted. Then I come to the position and I simply just go down and make sure the number goes down. So that will take my object out of the frame right there. So now I'm going to follow the hand back into the frame. So, but before I do that, I will click on this position to create this white cube right here or diamond shape. So I shift it to the edge to the exact place where I want the animation to begin, right? So I take my hand back there. Now what I'm going to do is to key the movement so that the object comes back out with my hand. Don't forget, I already have locked down that position using the keyframe. So now I go 1 frame or 2 frames or 3 frames at a time to track my hand by clicking on the right arrow on my keyboard, so that I will track that movement of my hand with the object back out into the frame. Okay, so I start 1. Sometimes this thing can take a little bit of time, so you just take your time and make sure you track it properly. For the sake of saving time, I'm just going to track this thing and then come back, and then so you guys can see exactly what result I've been achieving. So what I do is that I just make sure that I track it from frame to frame so that it follows the movement of my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as it's coming out, I can start following that thing right there. 1, 2, 3. I'll shift it again. I can shift it a whole lot this time. 1, 2, 3. I shift it a whole lot. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2. I shift it. 1. I can actually now begin to come down a little bit to the y-axis. A little bit at the 1, 2. No, 1, 2, 1. So you need to understand that this is just to sort of like create an idea of how I achieve this. I mean, you might want to do it based on the object that you're dealing with. So basically, I will go back here and try to play it. As you can see, it looks a little bit more realistic. So you can go back and forth and fine-tune it in a way. Like now, I can see the first frame here, or the first key frame here, wasn't quite neat. I'm going to fine-tune that. I can press the plus key to increase that, to zoom in so that I can see the spacing in between the keyframes. So it looks better now. So I have been able to follow the movement very well. As you can see, that's exactly how I created this whole thing. I hope you got value here today. If you did, I want you to smash that like button so that the algorithm can tell that there is value here. I sincerely do hope that you find value here. Don't forget, the best time to create is now. Until another video, this is Sam and I am signing out. Peace.
With me. Ooh, ooh, come on.